Promenade, and lastly, the Children's Museum, the only one of its kind in the entire city. Now, with that, I kind of mentioned very shortly with one of the movies that was filmed here in San Diego. I was talking about Top Gun, and I will talk about that again here in just a few moments. However, there was another movie filmed here. It's a cult classic horror movie, and it was filmed at the headquarters building for San Diego. And this movie was one of the top worst films in the film history. It is known as Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. And it was so bad, they basically decided to make a sequel. I don't know how they got the money to do so, but they did. And the sequel was not only worse, but it was also the first movie ever in the history for George Clooney's career. That was his first ever film to star in. Now, speaking of Top Gun, as we were talking about before, on your left-hand side, you're going to see the Kansas City Barbecue. Now, the Kansas City Barbecue is also a filming spot for the movie Top Gun. Now, in the movie, you might recognize the sleazy bar scenes with Maverick and Goose, and that was the location of those sleazy bar scenes. Now, it is still today a sleazy bar scene, so they've kept it movie magic original. However, on the interior, you might also remember it as the scene for the big piano, the piano scene where they had the song Great Balls of Fire being played. They still have the piano inside to this very day, which is really cool to check out, and of course some other movie memorabilia is all over the walls because, hey, let's milk the experience, of course. So if you want to go inside, check out the headquarters, or the Kansas City Barbecue. That itself is a really neat area just to kind of walk in and see all of the Top Gun memorabilia. You don't even have to go in for the food, just go in, just see all the memorabilia. It's pretty neat. So definitely check it out on your vacation if you get the chance to. And I'll go ahead and just play a little snippet of that song just to bring back the memories. Let's see here.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love and the man sing. You broke my wheels right. I never done what I thought it was fine. You came along, honey. I changed my mind.
Lovely bit of movie history that has happened here in San Diego. Now we're coming up to our next stop here, the Marriott Marquis Hotel and Convention Center. On your left-hand side, and behind all the train tracks is a big building with solar panels. That is the Children's Museum of San Diego, the only one of its kind. And we also have the Martin Luther King Jr. Promenade. Now the MLK Jr. Promenade is kind of on your left-hand side. It's more at maybe my 10 o'clock position, and that's where you'll see some off yellow pillars over there in the pine tree and palm tree area. That is where they have MLK Jr. speeches and sermons on plaques and a couple of busts of him as well. And it's of course dedicated to the 1960s civil rights history. Now again, we're here at our Marriott Marquis stop. So again, we got the Marriott Marquis Hotel, Convention Center, we have the Children's Museum, Martin Luther King Jr. Promenade, and right behind us is a 10-minute walk to Seaport Village if you changed your mind. If you are going to be hopping back on another trolley here, the last trolley of the day that will be coming through is at 3:25. So as we continue the tour, you're going to realize we're slowly but surely running out of time to check out the area. So make sure to keep that in mind. Going once, going twice. So, alright. Next up is going to be downtown San Diego. Horton Plaza is coming up next. Horton Plaza once again coming up next. After me, the last trolley of the day will be at 3:30 p.m. So by the time we get down into the Horton area, you'll have approximately a half hour to check out the area. So as we're slowly ending our day today on the schedule, just make sure that you are keeping an eye on those free map brochures. If you don't have one of them, I do have extras on board. At the last page, that free map brochure will tell you the schedule of the day. So again, that will look like the thing that I'm holding up at the moment. It says Free Map San Diego. These brochures at the very last page will give you that schedule for the day. So just keep that in mind if you decide to hop off. Now, other than that, downtown San Diego's story is kind of a confusing one for many San Diegans, mostly because it involves the fact that we used to have two cities of San Diego at one time in history competing against each other. Who is going to be the official city of San Diego on the maps of California? Well, the original San Diego is called Old Town. It's a few miles inland. However, that started in 1769 with the first building. The first humans there were about 20,000 years ago, so they're pretty much the original. But here comes the new kid on the block to stir it up. In 1867, a man from San Francisco by the name of Alonzo Horton decided to leave the city of San Fran, which was going through an economic boom at the time. He was a used furniture salesman back in those days, making a lot of money as a used furniture salesman. But just like people today in San Francisco and other parts of Southern California and NorCal, well, it gets a little expensive to live in these cities, and he wanted to leave. So he left the city to go adventure new land. Well, he found San Diego. He got off of a ship, went right around here, and he looked around, and all he saw was rolling hills of dirt off in the distance, blooming chaparral, cacti, rabbits, trees, actually no trees, but rabbits, dirt, and that's about it. It was worthless property, completely worthless property. In fact, according to the Old Town San Diegans called this place the Rabbitville on the maps because Rabbitville was home to the jackrabbits where they would go hunting for their meat. So this was hunting grounds. That was all it was, ever will be, basically, to the Old Town San Diegans. Again, worthless property. But to Alonzo Horton, what he saw was untapped land by an active harbor. He literally just got off of a passenger steamer ship from San Francisco, and the only place they dropped him off at was here, not in Old Town. So he kind of had an idea. What if I buy the harbor property, build some businesses, everyone that comes to San Diego, they would not be going to Old Town, they would be going right here. It's a city by the bay. So that's exactly what he wanted to do. Well, he went to Old Town to go and purchase this property. They looked at him weird at first, and they laughed at him, saying he was insane for doing it. But they sold him 800 acres. 800 acres of Rabbitville waterfront property, San Diego on the harbor. And he got all 800 acres for a total cost of $265. $265 for all 800 acres, about 33 cents an acre. The same amount of land in San Francisco at the exact same time would have cost nearly $500,000. That's the difference between the economic booms. Well, he got a steal, and he also got the last laugh. In less than 10 years' time, he became the owner of Newtown, San Diego, and the wealthiest man in Southern California. But he may have cheated. In 1872, Old Town suffered a horrible, horrible fate. The fate they suffered? Well, there was an arsonry that burned 2/3 of Old Town to the ground, forcing everyone to pack up their bags and move to Newtown, San Diego. So the question has always been, with no evidence really behind it, could Alonzo Horton have schemed the burning of Old Town San Diego, his competitor that he was going against in the Wild West? Could he have paid an arsonist or done it himself to burn down the city of Old Town San Diego? So therefore, downtown could be founded by arsonry. But the only thing that'll be burning nowadays is your wallets. So welcome to the business districts of downtown San Diego. Horton Plaza is home to the Horton Plaza Park. Horton Plaza Park is from 1870. We also have a water fountain here from 1910. And we have 4th Avenue, which is the next street to our right behind all these buildings, which is home to 93 historic buildings from the Wild West. Welcome to Horton Plaza, home to some historic locations of downtown of the arsonist himself, Alonzo Horton. Watch your step if you're going to hop off here. Again, for anyone that wants to hop off, this is Horton Plaza. Horton Plaza. The last trolley of the day, of course, is 3:30 p.m. So keep that in mind, 3:30 p.m.